So at All In Capital, we believe founders should understand the system they're operating in. When we give a no, we try to give precise reasons so founders can treat it as information and not judgment. So how should you as a founder process a no? First of all, you need to remember that you need only one yes, right? So it doesn't matter if 50 people said no. If the 51st one said yes, it's great. You are in business and you can build what you want to build. The healthiest way to process a no is to ask, what kind of no is this? Is this about market size? Is this about timing? Is this about fund constraints? Or is this about me as an entrepreneur? Well, you can ask, but don't always expect a long explanation. VCs see hundreds of companies every month. We see 500 plus companies at All In, right? So it's not easy to go give detailed feedback to everyone. But we do try to give you detailed feedback. If we've at least done 2 calls with you and spent that kind of time, we feel you deserve an honest answer from us on why we're not investing. But every fund doesn't do that. So treat every no as information. Use it to make better decisions. Study the funds more deeply. Understand their size, their sectors and their theses, and your conversation will improve dramatically. Try and get a little more pinpointed feedback from the VC you're meeting. If it's a small market, then maybe you should go double check and see what am I not seeing that this VC is seeing, right? The most difficult feedback to get from a VC is that the team is not great, right? Now, obviously, if a founder pitches me and mentally I think that this person is not going to make it, I am never going to tell them that because obviously I can be wrong, right? And that's a very hurtful thing to tell someone. If you consistently get vague feedback from VCs, not just one, but like multiple people meet you, but they don't clearly tell you why they're not funding you, it's probably the team, right? And in that case, you should maybe figure out that either you're not a fit for that market, or you can maybe find co-founders who can join their team that will make it a better team. Now, if multiple VCs say no, does that mean my idea is bad? Not always. Patterns matter more than individual responses. On the average, VCs are smart guys, right? So if one person says no, second says no, third says no, that's fine. But if 10 VCs have told you no and all 10 of them are telling you the exact same thing, then maybe they know something that you don't, and maybe you should dig deeper and try and figure out why is it that they are so sure that this idea won't work. You should also remember that by nature, most big ideas are very contrarian when they started, right? So for example, one of my best investments was this company called Jiva, where I was the first investor. Today, it's a $500 million plus company. The founder heard no's from some of the best funds in India, including Peak, Accel, Fireside, Z47, you name it. He went there, he pitched, he got a no, right? But he still went on to build a very large business and raised from some great funds like A91, Sixth Sense, India Quotient, Premji Invest, and so on. People had doubt that D2C brands are really a VC backable business. People felt that silver and jewelry in general is a very cash-based business and it's not a space where VC should be investing. But if you just zoom out back and think, it was actually a great time to start that company because nobody was selling jewelry online back in 2019, 2020. So Shane, when he started Jiva, had a great head start. He was able to go capture the market at really low CACs. So inherently, these ideas are always contrarian by nature because if it was obvious, then somebody would have done it already. There were like 10 other listed companies that were doing jewelry. They could have also started a silver jewelry brand that was selling online and built Jiva, right? But they did not because it was not obvious. Hence, most companies which make it big have difficult fundraisers precisely because the business is not obvious. So every time they go pitch a VC, most of them will not get it. So get comfortable with that till you meet somebody who feels what you're saying is obvious, right? The market will always perceive your idea as non-obvious. It could mean that it's a next big idea. So you shouldn't take it too hard, like just shrug it off, think over why someone said no. What could I have done better in the pitch? And do I feel that this person understood me and said no, or did I feel that he didn't really understand what I was saying and still passed, right? So these nuances of what actually happened in the pitch matter a lot. And of course, like in case of Ishane at Jiva, his customers kept buying his product, right? So he always had great conviction on what he was doing because he saw the numbers going up month on month. So the no's didn't really affect him that much. He knew he was going to make it anyways. And that's the best place to be. Like that's where you get your conviction. If customers are using your product, they're coming back for more, and you have a clear idea of what else you're going to build for them and why this is going to be a large business, then it's basically a communication issue, and you have to figure out how to present this business to the VC so that they also get it. Can a VC turn a no into a yes later? Absolutely. Many times yeses come after founders show progress, they show clarity, and they show learning over time. Going to Misho's example, Elevation, who led the series around in Misho, passed on them thrice, and then they finally invested. I think 18 months after they first met the founder, they ended up investing. Right? Why did they invest? Because they could see a graph like this. Beyond anything that anyone else tells you, what excites a VC most about your business is a graph that goes like this. If they see growth, if they see users coming back, if they see business growing month on month on month, or even better, week on week on week, that's very hard for a VC to just say no to. Please do not change your idea because a VC told you it's a bad idea. Go back to my friend Vijay at Misho. He had been laughed out of rooms. He did a pitch where a VC looked at the rest of the team and said कि ऐसे कैसे लोग ले आते हो हमारे को pitch करने, right? And today it's a 5 billion plus company. So people are wrong, and even if they sometimes have egos and they talk to you like that, it doesn't mean that you should stop building what you are building. You should only pivot from your idea if your users don't want to use it. Just remember, you're building for users and not for investors.